And that is the beautiful contemplation, no? That even time and space are clearly notional within my being. But then in which time does being come and go? See, and what is this time thing anyway? What is this time thing? Because I talked about this example very often where my children were going to school. I said bye to them at 7:30. And then I went back to sleep. I had a dream of a full lifetime. And in the lifetime, it was so funny that I was getting late to a particular event by 30 minutes or something like that. I led a full life. And it was not a life in fast forward or something. Full life. And just before I woke up, which was at 8 o'clock, I'd led a full life. And just God's sense of humor, no, is that He made me be very clear about this, because in that dream, that 30 minutes felt really long because I was getting late. So, so then in the dream, I led a full lifetime. In this world's 30 minutes. So what is then the reality of time? And what is that time in which this time comes and goes?
It's a little bit like walking into a movie. And, you engrossed in the movie.
Yeah.
It could be a 20th century movie.
Yeah.
And then you're in 20th century. Your attention is in 20th century time.
Movie is a very good metaphor. But I feel like a comic book is very good as a metaphor for this. You see, because the frames are all there. You visit and make time move based on how your attention flows. And your time can flow various ways, even in that. So it's a bit more like that, I would say. Yes. It's just like from now to now to now. You see, what has changed? Just the frames in the comic book, isn't it? On the screen. Isn't it? So what makes you what makes that change apparent to you? It's your attention, it's your perception, what you perceive in the light of your being. How is it that if something appears as an image, we call that the past? And we say that is memory of something that has happened. Maybe that is all the future. And we are going at a very rapid rate into the future. It's all very absurd. And even physicists, no? What is the main thing about relativity? We're moving at the speed of light into the next moment. It's the main thing. That E is equal to mc square was a smaller part of that same theory. But we are moving at the speed of light into the next moment in time. But if we are moving already in some way in the x, y, or z axis, then our rate of going into the next moment slows by that much. This is physics, not Yoga Vasishtha. If you're moving at a particular speed, your rate at which you're going into the next moment in time slows down by that much. So if you're moving at the speed of light, you don't move in time. You see? So what is it basically saying? That if it is a location that you get to basically, and your speed of getting to it depends on how fast you're already moving. You see? That means that time is not very different from space. It's just met differently in our human perception. You see? So if it's just like space, then it's already there. No? You see? As long as we can presume that things are there, that's a different conversation altogether. what is the traditional idea? The traditional idea is that the next moment arrives. You see, it's created. Create. Now that would be true if this was not true, that the time that I take to reach the next moment may vary based on my existing speed. You see, so if I'm already moving at the speed of light, I'm on a spaceship, some super invention has happened, then I'm not moving forward in time. You see, so it's more like a place that I get to. And if I'm already moving at the speed of light, then I'm not getting to that place. You see, isn't it? Because if I was slower, then I would get to that particular location in time. So it's more like a location in time that I get to based on my speed, my current speed. Of course, we are keeping all that Maya and all that aside for a moment. We're just talking in terms of what even science is telling us, right? So if that's a place that I get to, you see, then depending on my speed, I should be able to get to it earlier or later, you see, and therefore it's just like a spatial thing that depending on the speed at which I'm climbing the stairs, I can get to 8th floor. If I'm climbing really, in this case, if I'm climbing really fast, then I'll get to it really slowly. If I'm climbing it really slowly, I'll get to it really fast. So then suppose that we were traveling at unimaginable speeds, much more than the speed of light and all of that. Would we go back into the past? And if the past can be achieved in that way, then what is this so-called arrow of time? It goes only in one direction. And the point is that how far back into the past can I go? If I was going like absurd stuff, but if I was going 100 times the speed of light, you see, can I go 100 moments behind or exponentially, whatever that means? You see? And if I was going 100 times the speed of light or going really, really, really slow, then where would I end up? Are there like moments before the next moment? What is that? What is that spectrum? So it just, if you look at this, then you feel like all of it is just there somewhere, and depending on my, whatever this meaning is, my speed, I end up there or not. The point of saying all of this is not to make you into some theoretical physicist or something like that. I'm just saying the nature of reality as you take it to be, we have to start questioning that a lot more, because then the mind has it very easy otherwise. You see, that is the point of even in ancient scripture. Now, I don't know what to call ancient now after saying all that about time, but in ancient scripture like the Yoga Vishishta, if you read it, it just throws away all these notions of time and space which are so set in stone. You see? Yeah. So, and unless you're willing to throw them away, when I ask you a question, so where are you really right now? That question itself won't appeal to you, because you're like, what an absurd question to ask. Obviously, I'm sitting here only, no. I took the lift and came up. What you see? So, but I'm really asking, where are you witnessing this universe from? Where is the witness? Is that witness an object within the universe? And if it is, then why have these sages told us such confusing things like actually the universe is an object within your consciousness? Were they lying to us? Were they deluded? Or did they have some insight which is possible for us to have? See? So the sages have given us all these fantastical stories in the Yoga Vashishta and some glimpses of that in the Ashtavakra Gita, so that, and to a very large extent in the Ribhu Gita also, which is more of a negation of all of our ideas, so that we can come to a point of openness to that intuitive insights. Because it may be very easy to say Aham Brahman Asmi, that I am Brahman itself, you see, but to meet that, you need to meet it through your intuition, not through any sort of understanding. And to be intuitive, you need to be first empty of your false knowledge, of your ignorance. And what is false knowledge? It is to take Maya to be real. Isn't it? So that's all that we've encapsulated so far. So shake up the notions of Maya. Once you let go of your clutches on what this is, you will really discover what it truly is. So the point is not for us to have a fantastical assumption about what this world is it? But to shake up our entire notion of what is reality so that we can truly come to a meeting which is beyond spiritual experience.